Hey guys, it's me. I'm back with another video, and today we are going over blinds and how I put the blinds on my bus and what I did for them. So as far as my blinds go, I thought of this really cool idea. I got some roller blinds, I put them in the tops of the cabinet, and I cut a slot in the bottom of the cabinets before I installed them so that they roll out, and then they just disappear back up into the cabinet. I love this idea, I haven't seen anybody else do it, and I'm super happy with it. Let me show you how you do it. So first things first, you want to measure the inside of the window, and then cut your blinds to length. My windows are 26 inches. I only have one left, I've already done the rest of them, as you saw. So all you do is you take your tape measure, you measure from the mechanism side, which is the side that has the little flat portion on it. You measure 26 inches. I'm going to turn it and do it on the other side. And you cut it to that length. Now I'm using a table saw because I feel like it's easy to make it the proper orientation so I don't cut it angled. But you could 100% do this with a hand saw, it'll be just as easy. It's just plastic and cardboard. Anything will cut through it. Now that you have it cut to length, you have the little small piece left over. You just have to pop out the guide, which is just a little piece on the end, and you just pop it into the cut end. It's as simple as that. Now on each side of the blinds you have a little blind bracket. I just made sure to shim mine inside the cabinet with as many as I needed to make it fit properly. You want it to be able to wiggle a little bit, but not come out. If it doesn't wiggle, it will not be able to unroll the blinds because this has to spin over here. Now I bought the $7 blinds from Lowe's because they were cheaper than buying the hardware itself and making your own roller blinds. And what I did is I took the terrible fabric that was on it and I glued on some nice blackout fabric onto here with this great gray interior. And as you can see, it blocks all light. And I love it. Now replacing the fabric in the blinds is actually much easier than you'd think. I researched a lot for this before I finally found like the stupid simple way. You do need to remove this plastic spacer that keeps the blinds from sucking back into the cabinet. I'm going to hot glue all of these back on the bottoms later. So I'm eventually going to glue this on the bottom and then slip a copper pipe over top of it. But you'll see that much later from now. I'm not doing that right now. But for the blinds, you want to remove this horrible sun filtering fabric because it doesn't block out all the light. Blocks out about, I'd say 40% of the light, and it's just bad fabric. It's just plastic. It's like a vinyl tablecloth. So you remove it, you just rip it right off, so you just have the cardboard tube, and you take the fabric you want to replace it with, which I already have this cut to the 26 inches wide and the length that I want it at. You do want to add to your length of the window that it needs to come down. You want to add 4 inches that will wrap around the tube. You want to also add 2 inches at the bottom that's going to wrap around the little stop piece that keeps it from getting sucked back into the cabinet all the way. So don't forget to add basically 6 inches to your total measurement of how long it needs to be. I would add a few more inches just to be safe. Make sure you don't get stuck all the way at the bottom because it's just the right length. Now, my fabric is different on both sides, so you really want to make sure you have the orientation of this correctly, or else you'll have to re-glue it again and again, sometimes 3 times if you mess up 2 times in a row, like I have. But basically, all you need to do is you take your fabric, you make sure that your line across is drawn so you can see what is square to the bottom, because you want to make sure that you glue this on squarely to the rest, so when you roll it up, it rolls up evenly. Now, you also want to make sure you glue this on to, if this is a double-sided fabric that has 2 different fabrics, that you glue the spring mechanism on the correct way, so when you insert it into the bus, it's going to fit on the right side so your blinds aren't accidentally backwards. I've done that a few times. So anyway, all you basically have to do is you grab your hot glue gun, you put a bead of hot glue at the very bottom, and put on the roller a little bit. You kind of roll it a little bit to make sure it's on there smoothly. And then you put more hot glue. And you put one more to glue a full loop around for one time. It needs to have a full loop or else you could possibly pull it off. And also it's really helpful to roll it against a hard surface because that kind of flattens the hot glue before it dries so you don't have this big lump in there. Because a few of mine turned out that way. It's not a big deal, but it makes it feel nicer. And I like to glue some of the spots where I see glue didn't get all the way on the second time. And then you just roll it up. And as long as you did everything nice and square, it should roll up pretty nicely so the corners are not just kind of traveling up the ends of it. You can always fix it and glue a little part a little bit higher if you need to reset it and make this come up square. It's not a huge deal, but it's nice when you get it right the first time. But that's really it. You put these back in your brackets that are already installed in the bus, slip this down through the gap, and if you're only going to use the plastic piece and not going to change anything up on the bottom or anything, you just glue the plastic piece on the bottom, flip it once, glue it again. That way you don't see the plastic piece inside of it. And then they shouldn't suck back up in the cabinet and you should be good. You have awesome hidden roller blinds inside your bus. Okay guys, that is how you install super cool hidden blinds into the backs of your cabinets. Let me know if you have any questions down below, and I will do my best to try to answer them. I'm super happy with how they turned out. Like I said, I'm also going to have stops on the bottom, and I'd recommend you doing the same so you don't have to stop it when you go up. You just let go and they will stop themselves. And that is really it. Feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe for the next steps of the bus. We are putting in electrical, like I said in the last video. I've already started running a few of the wires, and it's going to be really exciting. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.
Good night. Good night. This is the end of the vlog. Good night, good night. Good night, vlog.